Welcome, welcome everyone. This is the Saturday Quantum Field X39 training. I'm so happy you guys are here. I'm very excited today. We have brand new presidential directors with us today. So we're going to have a really fun training day. We're going to talk about this fantastic little photobiomodulation patch. It's called the X39 and it's amazing. It's a frequency patch, which does amazing things. It allows your body to really do amazing things. It will elevate your body's GHK copper peptide. And when I started 3 years ago, I did not know what that was. So I had to Google it and I learned that it is the holy grail of anti-aging. And it is when you elevate the GHK copper peptides, one of the other things that you do is you activate your body's own stem cells. And who doesn't want to activate their body's own stem cells?
Okay, are we on?
Woohoo!
Woo! How are you, Onyx?
I'm fantastic. First of all, I want to say congratulations. You are blazing a trail. You're showing other people what's possible. It's incredible to watch you two work, and I'm really blessed. I'm really excited for this community to be able to hear from you. Before we get started, because you two have a really neat story. And you know, one of the things I always say about network marketing is it really doesn't matter what gene you have. It doesn't matter your race, your creed, your color, your religion. It doesn't matter. Every gene will do. And everyone has an opportunity to be successful in this business, but it starts with the same thing for all of us. You put a person on your left leg and you put a person on your right leg and you start building business. You two have had a little bit of experience in network marketing, but when you started, you had no experience, just like me, and your story is fantastic. So would you share your story first? And then I promise I will shut up and let you guys have the floor.
We appreciate your leadership, Onyx. We're so grateful that you shared this with Steve and Gina Merritt. And we feel blessed that Steve and Gina Merritt thought about us because we have been working with them for a minute. And I thank God every single day. So thank you for, for going out there and looking into this company and sharing it with, like I said, Steve and Gina. So first of all, for those of you who don't know us and haven't heard our story, I met this wonderful, beautiful gal here when I was 15. She was 12 and I was 15. And I don't want to get too much into that story, but I swore she was 15 because she was hanging around in my high school. And at the time I was a freshman. So I figured she was a high school, student. But she happened to be on her day off for
St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, and I had off in school. So I went to my brother's school, which was his high school.
Woo!
Just like hang out and see, my brother and his girlfriend. And I met Mike.
Yeah, I remember I'm the kind of guy, I go straight for what I want. And I saw her hanging out with a gal that I knew happens to be her brother's girlfriend at the time. And I made a beeline, and I remember coming up to Millie. I was like, "Hey, Millie." I was like, "Who's your friend?" That's when we met.
That's how it all started.
Then I learned, obviously, she was 12 years old, and not right away. They hit that for me. And we got together again. We saw each other again when she was 15, and then I was 18 at the time. I don't have an excuse for that. But we've been inseparable ever since. We have a 28-year-old son. Who thank God and thank God and thank this opportunity. We thank this industry. We were able to invest in our son. I remember when we first started, our son was 12 years old. And at the time I was a baseball coach, which is sort of how we met Steve and Gina Merritt. And my son was used to me spending so much time with him. We played travel baseball since the age of 4 years old. To the time that I first met Steve and Gina Merritt at from 4 to 12 years old. And I remember, excuse me, I've been talking so much. Excuse me.
If I knew what you were going to say.
No, so my son had bursitis at the time. And I used to train him with a gentleman who played professional baseball here in Wellington, where I live now. And I called him up to let him know that, my son was injured. Just get him off the schedule. And he said, well, there's a couple that came by here and gave me a bottle of juice. And he said that this juice was good for inflammation. And he gave me this bottle. I gave it to my son and it helped. Like, the inflammation left. And I came back looking for more product. And that's when he introduced me to a guy and a gal by the name of Steve and Gina Merritt. And I didn't know anything about the industry. And most people don't know, but you know, they invited me to a meeting, and I went kicking and screaming because I had committed to go. And when I went there, I heard of all these testimonies, sort of like we hear today with this product. And I didn't believe anything. I'm a New Yorker, born and raised in New York City. And you know, I'm the biggest skeptic in the room, but I've never been a pessimist, thank God. And I went home with some product that Steve and Gina gave me that night as well. And I went home and I guinea pigged my father, my dad at the time. And I did it to prove to my wife that what everybody was saying was not true, was a lie. And it backfired because it worked. And when I saw that work, Onyx, I turned to my wife and I said, "We're gonna be rich." She still remembers. We're gonna be rich. And listen, and I'm gonna lead right into this with this point. Steve and Gina Mary didn't know me at the time. And I always say sometimes a dud will lead you to a stud. And not that I'm a stud, and not that the gentleman who got us together was a dud, but what I'm trying to say is he never built a business. And I remember Steve and Gina Mary telling me, listen, the way it works is, you know, you got a left leg and a right leg, and all that stuff just got me dizzy. And I remember me telling him, listen, just let me know this. If I share the product with a lot of people, I make money. He says, yes. I was like, that's all I need to know. Let me get some product. And I took off from there. But he said, yeah, he kept it simple. But he said, Mike, the gentleman who who introduced us, I'm going to tell him, because if he gets in before you, you know, he benefits. And I told him, let me tell him. And I called Chad Upson. I just remembered his name. And I said, Chad, this stuff is amazing. I went to a meeting and I'm here on fire. And I said, apparently, if you get in before me, you're going to make money. So get in, because we're going to tear this up. We had no idea what we were saying. We had no credibility. We had no experience. We were broke, guys. I hope my throat clears. But when we signed up, I remember sitting in Steve and Gina's Mary's house, and I was like, all right, what's the biggest package? What's the best way to get in? Steve says, well, Mike, are you going to share this with a lot of people? Or are you sort of going to, you know, just with a couple?
For yourself.
I said, I'm going to share this with as many people as I can. He said, well, the biggest pack is 12 cases at the time. It was about $1,200, $1,300, $1,400 with taxes. And I'm like, well, that's what I want to do. Guys, we were so broke, we couldn't afford to pay attention, right? I didn't tell Steve that, because I wasn't proud of that, right? And I give him my credit card and I puff up my chest, but inside, I was praying to God that my credit card would go through. It wasn't supposed to go through. I didn't have that much credit in my card. But God must have heard my prayers, because the transaction went through. And he said, okay, good, you're ready. I'm like, put my chest back up. I'm like, okay, you know, I got this. Sahi was with me, and we had just met Steve and Gina. So 2 days later, we're back in their house signing up. And another point to this, guys, Steve says, Mike, you got 12 cases? I'm going to go in my garage and I'm going to get you your 12 cases right now. I thought Steve was the owner. Yeah, I thought Steve was the owner of the company because he had so much product in hand. And he says, Mike, when you get your product, you're going to replace it. Steve didn't even help us carry the product into the car. And I say that to say, sometimes we want to do so much for folks. Guys, we gotta let a person take a step or two before we take a step or two. Mm-hmm. And another thing is, we need to have product in hand. Guys, another reason why we excel so quickly in this company this time was because Steve and Gina were prepared again. We came in on a diamond pack, and Steve that very same day came over and handed us a product so that we can give it back to him when we got our product. So we got a week's advantage. And that's what I try to do for folks that we sign up into the business. If I'm signing up Onyx, I'm like, Onyx, you're coming in on what pack?
Diamond.
Here's your product. Mm-hmm. When you get yours, give me my back. And I try to give you that week of advantage so you can go out there and start sharing it with folks.
That's very important.
Very important. So
that's the ammo, like Gina says.
Yeah. Please jump in, because this guy's full of good stuff.
If you don't have ammo, you're not going to be successful. And so it's nothing different that the people that are having success do. The only different thing is that we place more product. We place more patches. We patch more people up. That's the only difference. If you do that, it's all a matter of numbers. That's what I tell people. Enough. You do that to enough people, and you're gonna have success because people are gonna come back with the testimonies, and that's what it takes. Testimonies make this business easy.
So you guys, it's like running a tire shop. You know, you can't run a tire shop without tires. You can't, have a candy store without candy. And you need to expect that your business is going to boom. And another thing is this: guess what happened when we walked outside that door, and my credit card went through, and it went above the limit. My wife, she's all smiles. All right, we've been together how many years now?
31.
31 years.
Wow.
Okay. So guess what? When we come outside the door, she's like, okay, Steve, Gina, okay, great meeting you, whatever. And I'm here carrying all my cases into my car. As soon as we get into my car, my wife tells me, what are you going to do with all this product? And I said,
He's shouting me out like always.
and I'm like, I'm going to get rid of it. And guys, I had a lot of pressure on myself to go out there and get this done, and sometimes we got to put this pressure on ourselves. If you tippy toe around it, guys, it's like they say, if you're going to treat it as a hobby, you're going to get hobby results. So I had a lot of pressure to go out there and get my investment back. And guess what? Within a week or two, I got rid of all that product, and I couldn't afford to give it away. So I came up with a strategy where, when we bought the X amount of product that we bought, I can say, listen, I'm going to give you one for free if you buy one. But by doing that, I was getting the cost back, guys. So I was able to plant these seeds for free. And guess what? Within 10 days, more or less, I got rid of all that product. And I came to my wife with, very proud, big smile. Look, baby, I got all our money back. And she said, good, thank God. And I said, now I'm going to do it again. And guys, we did it again and again. So we got 12, 24. That's exactly what we're doing now, guys. We are patching as many people as possible. We're giving the people the product when they come in right away so they can get that week's advantage. And I'm asking them to duplicate it. It's that simple.
And we get it. We get it. People are in different times in their lives. Some people are struggling. Back then, we were struggling really, really bad. I mean, look, the credit card, this is a true story. We were praying that the credit card went through. And we needed to sell the product because we wouldn't be able to sustain the business that we were building if we wouldn't sell the product. So there's people that are here that are going through difficult times, but don't make that an obstacle to stop like that or an excuse to, what we did, I didn't have jewelry because I pawned whatever it is, or I sell whatever it is to make my business go through, because materialistic things come and go. Then I was able to buy all the things that I wanted because I sacrificed the things that I had at the time and, sold it or did whatever it took so that I can buy more product or make it to convention or all those things. We had to do all those things. So we know it can be done. We know some people are struggling, and sometimes people can look at you and they're like, oh, it's easy to say you've been successful, but no, we were there. That's why we can say that to you. You sell, get rid of whatever it is that you need to do, and so that you can make your business work. Because if you do this, it will change your life financially, and you have also the opportunity of helping others change their life too, because it's better 1% of 100 people than 100% of yourself. So
absolutely.
I remember back in those days, because Steve and Gina Merritt also knocked on my door and knocked on my door and knocked on my door. And every time they came around, I went running and hiding under the couch, and they came over on the boat. And I'm like, no, I don't want to have anything to do with network marketing. And I finally, like you, came to their house and sat down, and I watched people draw the circles. And for me, what I gave up was time. And so I said to my children, listen, I know you guys, and they were young. The kids were young, and they've been doing after school activities every single day after school. And I said, you know what? Mom's about to go to work. And for the next year, you're going to see me working at a level you haven't seen me work before, because I'm putting my sneakers on and I'm going to run, because I believe we can change the world. And so I put my sneakers on and I told my girls, you get one after school activity a week. But guess what? If I do what I think I'm going to be able to do, you're going to get to go to Hawaii every year for free. And so 8 years in a row, my children went with me to Hawaii. Now, I can't tell you that the kids don't also say, man, I wish I had a mom that was sitting home and making chocolate chip cookies. And here's Sierra, who is that very daughter who used to say that. And she's running the webinar for us. And we've all grown up in this. And so the reason for me, I think the story is so interesting is because there's nothing special about any of us, except some people in this organization have been to what I call MLM business school. And so when I was in my early 20s, I was, at an Anthony Robbins event in Australia, and they're talking about residual income. I'm scratching my head going, I'm 20, how am I going to figure out residual income? How does a girl like me make residual income? And he was talking about it takes 9 years for the average person to create wealth. And I was like, okay, I can do this. I don't know how yet, but I can do this. And I was running and running and running. All the network marketing stuff was coming at me. And I was like, no, 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 no. And what I finally figured out is that I was running from something I knew nothing about.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I experienced last time was beautiful. And we learned a lot. We grew a lot. What was created back then wouldn't be created today. What we have today with this product, with this science, with this technology is completely different than what was back then. And I think that's why many people who have been through network marketing school they know instinctively, oh my gosh, we're at the precipice. The momentum has begun. The system is set. There are people already within the organization making $100,000 a year, $200,000 a year, $300,000 a year. And nobody in this organization has been here for longer than 3 years. Many people who have been in network marketing school have been on a ride to take a company to 300 million or to take a company to 500 million. And some of us have even been on a ride to take a company to 1 billion or 2 billion. So every one of us has something different, but every one of us has something valuable to bring here. And it doesn't matter where you start. What matters is that you put your sneakers on, you plug in, and you run with us. Because as I always say, we grow together, we heal together, we thrive together. And that's what I love about network marketing, is that we do it together. So everything you need to be a success is here. I'm doing 331 every single day. I'm guessing, Mike, I'm guessing the two of you are doing 331 every single day. I know Steve and Gina are doing 331 every day. And I've been doing it every day for 3 years. And then there's some people like Renita that don't do 331. She does magical math and does 30, 30, 30, 30. That's too many for me. And that's just too many for me. And so I know who I am, and I know with the consistency and persistency, I will build a very large business over time. And
Absolutely.
Every single one of you can do this. I
Yes.
wanted you to see where these two came from, because we all have a story. We all have a history, and we all have a future, and we can have a future together. So I'll be
I
quiet.
agree. No, that's great. And you know what you
Beautiful.
mentioned, we went to Hawaii every single year with you as well, and our son. And I remember the time our son was literally crying, upset. He
Yes.
couldn't hear the word of that company because
Yeah.
he felt like that company took me away from what we were doing. But today, my son is the most grateful kid ever.
Yep.
We were able to invest in his talent at the time. We
Yeah.
noticed that he had a gift for music. We like you said, we said, listen, we gave him little goals. By the time we get to this goal and this goal and this goal, we'll do this and this for you. And we ended up building him here in our house, $100,000 and somewhat studio. In our house, we had guys like Post Malone record.
Wow.
Today, my son is a
Tory
multi,
Lanez, like,
Tory Lanez. My
Yeah.
son is a multi platinum
producer.
producer, and not only multi-platinum, but
Grammy-winning.
Grammy award winning. And he's working with the Drakes, the Beyoncés, and everyone in the world. But it's because we made that sacrifice. We put him in a position to win. And another thing is, he learned that discipline, and he's applied it to, and that's why he's so successful today. But real quick, because I got a bunch of here, right? So you know what? It did not take us 42 days to get to this level. It's taken us 16 years to be able to get to do this in 42 days. And guys, we didn't bring a team over into this organization. We had been out of network marketing, other than receiving a check from a company that we built 6-7 years ago. We have not called that organization. We figured, hey, let that check continue to come in. We're gonna go out here because we have something very special. But I love what my son said one day. He says, don't pay me for the 10 minutes that it takes me to create a beat. I'm sorry, you're not paying me for the 10 minutes that it takes me to create your beat. You're paying me for the 10 years that it's taken me to make a beat in 10 minutes. So my son asks for a lot of money for his beats. And sometimes like, what are you talking about? You just took 10 minutes. He said, yeah, but it's taken me 10 years. And that's where we are today, guys. You're going to have to put in the time. All right. And I always say, listen, if you don't have 5 years to invest in yourself, in your career, and get to where you want to go, guys, I usually feel like I don't have 5 minutes for those people. Because look, go to work on Monday, look around you. And I got this from Steve and Gina. Look to see who's been in your business, in your job, 5, 10, 20 years longer than you have. And guys, that's exactly where you're going to be if you don't start to do something different, make some sacrifices. And like we said, get yourself out of that shell. But go feel free to jump in anytime. So I'm going to start talking about. So one thing I'm going to tell you about this that I am so excited about. We have a very sophisticated product. Yeah. We are able to reach people in other industries that would normally never look at this, guys. But your conviction about this product is what's going to get them to really take a look at this. You can't go in there kind of shy and whatever. And where does this conviction come from? From all of the people that you've shared this with and all of the testimonies that you've created. And by you understanding that because of the power of this product, based on the testimonies that you are seeing with the people that you're sharing this, obviously with the people that, you come in these Zooms and you begin, to hear all these things, that's great. But you need to see this ghost, because this all sounds like a ghost story. When Steve and Gina, when Onyx were telling me about all these testimonies people were getting, sounded like a ghost story, right? And when I turn around and say, well, yeah, they said this and they said that, right? It wasn't until I was able to see for myself that I got that ghost encounter. And that encounter gives me that conviction to go out there and share with other folks. But guess what? At that point, when they speak to their friends and family members, is, yeah, Mike and Sahi said, so I'm quick to share this product with as many people as possible, not just them. I look to see who around them. I take that shotgun approach because I want them to get that ghost encounter and duplicate that process. But guys, don't wait for people to get an experience. And it happens fast. And I'm not saying that everyone's going to jump in just based on your story and what you're sharing with them. But don't wait for people to get an experience, to try and close the deal at least. So when I tell people, I tell my neighbors, hey, we have this thing. This thing is amazing. This is what's doing for other people. This is what's done for what it's done for us. This is the experience that we've gotten when we shared it with people. And I look to close the deal before I even get them to share the product, before I get to share the product with them. Meaning, if I was to share with Onyx, I'm like, Onyx, this is what's going on. I couldn't believe it. My God, and I'm speaking from my heart, right? And then I'm telling Onyx, if you see what we see, will you run with us? If all you need to do is, okay, so listen, I've pre-closed her. Right. Some people are just going out there, look. Okay, great. But there's no expectation behind this sharing. Guys, this is a way for me to close the deal before I put the product in your hand. And another thing is, there's people that I don't want to wait for I have people in Canada. I don't want to wait. We sponsor someone in Asia. I don't want to wait for them to get the product and ship whatever. I'm telling them, listen, if it works, will you? Yeah, Mike. Okay, great. Get your credit card, sign up. We have a 90-day money-back guarantee for customers. We got a 30-day money-back guarantee for distributors. And the way it works is like this, guys. Whether they buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sleeves on their first purchase, it's guaranteed. That first purchase, money-back guarantee. Any product that's left over, they want it back. But I told them, what if they got rid of all the product? Then my goodness, money-back guarantee. Guys, less than 1% of people return product. That's a lot of confidence in this product. So I pre-close the deal. If all you need to see is okay, great. So sign up, get in, because there's nothing you can lose but the opportunity to come in before everybody else. There's urgency, and the urgency has to come from you.
And when we say experience it for yourself, we don't mean only on you. Because sometimes you might not be feeling, or sometimes you might have something that you can't see or feel, but it's helping you inside. But you might, everybody's different. So you might have somebody that it works to in an hour. You might have somebody that it works in 3 days. You have to share the patches, not only with yourself. You got to share it with enough people so that you can build your own testimony. So then you can have that fire and that conviction, and then it, you know, you speak from the heart.
And it gets me back to this point, guys. It's like this. I always tell people this, because sometimes, you know, you got to dumb it down. And I'm a high school dropout, guys. Okay, I'm a high school dropout, but you know what I've gotten in this industry in the last 16 years? I've got a PhD. I've got a PhD in people. Okay, I learned to find the people who see the glass half empty and the ones who see it half full. And I don't try and convince anyone. I don't want the pessimist people. I identify them and I move on. It's quicker and better for me to move on and look to see the person who sees the glass half full than the one that I'm going to spend my time. I'm not going to do that. Listen, not even my brothers are in my business right now. My family, very few of my family are involved. You know who? The ones that I guinea pig, that I didn't think they were going to do this business. But after they see this, they're running. And you know what? They're trying to get my brothers in. I'm like, leave them alone. Let's go. Leave those guys alone. They see things half empty. But like Sahi said, I tell people, listen, Onyx, I'm going to share this with you. What issues do you have? No, Mike, how's your energy? How do you sleep? Aches and pains. How's your mood? How's your digestive system? I go through all the things. Oh, I'm good. Okay, Onyx is not the person. Then she tell me, well, let me try how the product works. I'm telling her, no, Onyx. If this was a product for bald people, all right, for people who have no hair, and I'm telling you, we have the product that helps them go from no hair to a Elvis Presley do. I'm looking for bald guys. So how many bald people do you know around you? Get me 4 or 5 people and let's see. Some of them are going to start with one little curl. Some of them are going to spark up like a chia pet, chia,
Yes,
right? So I take that shotgun approach. I want to see all the bald people around you, all right? So look for the people. I get them to see, because I tell them if it works for them, does it make sense? So pick up the phone, guys. Something else that, you know, I've been doing this old school, belly to belly. I pick up the phone. You know, I do text and I do send messages on Facebook, but it's about, hey, how you doing? Long time no see. I see the pictures. Your kids are so big, whatever. I haven't been on Facebook for 7 years, right? So I kind of look to reconnect, but then it's like, hey, when can we get on the phone? I would love to talk to you. When do you have some time to chat? And guys, I look to talk on the phone so that they can hear this conviction and this passion, guys. I don't, God bless you if you're able to. I don't know that I don't believe it'll work for me. And I shouldn't say that because I haven't tried it, but I'm more of the heart to heart, belly to belly. Pick up that phone, guys, because I'm going to tell you right now, everyone you know is going to know about this, with or without you, with or without me. Guys, it's inevitable. This product is just magical, okay? It doesn't cure, but man does amazing things for people. That being said, we were at Steve and Gina's marriage house the other day, and a gal got up and spoke, and I love her. I love her story. Steve and Gina just met her, and she's a firecracker, and she spoke about how she made a rookie mistake about not getting the person in right away, and she let her person go and speak to a couple of people without signing them up first. I tell people when I speak to them, don't speak to anyone until you sign up. Don't speak to anyone. Don't share it. Don't do anything. So she lets her go to her boss. Her boss happens to be a doctor in my office. Her boss turned around and said, no. Are you in? No, you're coming in with me. She lost her. It made me feel terrible. But, you know, I would have felt worse if it wasn't on my team. But just kidding. But guys, you got to get the people in. Pick up the phone.
So one of the ways that I talk about that real quickly is to say network marketing is a contact sport. And so what I'm listening to Mike talk about is contact. I heard the same thing out of Matt and Kim last week. Contact. Everybody comes at this from a different space and a different energy, and whatever energy you're coming at from is perfect, but you cannot build this business if you're not making contact with people. Yes, you know, you send somebody an email, the likelihood they're going to respond in today's world, very small. If you send them something on Messenger, you know, maybe you're 50-50. You send them a text, maybe you're 75%. You pick up the phone, more likely to get a connection.
Absolutely.
And sometimes you might say like, I don't have a lot of friends. I can't do this. Go out there and make some relationships. Sometimes those are better than the friends that you've had for years.
That's true, but I will tell you, I don't know anybody that doesn't have 1,000 contacts in your phone. So don't tell me you don't have any friends when you got 1,000 contacts in your phone. But I mean, you all know I sign up yoga instructors. I sign up people that sit next to me at Capitol Grill. I sign up. I got out of an Uber. I was doing a 3-way call the other day. I'm leaving the Uber and the Uber driver was like, wait. I was on with Keston. Wait. And I said, what? He said, here's my card. You have to call me. I need to have that. I'm like, okay, fine, no problem. There's people everywhere, you all, everywhere. But if you're not contacting, they don't know what you got. And so for me as a woman, I had to learn not to speak so much because I wanted to share everything. I had to hold that energy inside, that excitement, Mike's excitement that you got. I hold it inside. I don't say all the words that they are to say to everybody, but man, I know what I got. And if you want what I got, you got to listen to what I'm saying. I will say something small and you got to come back at me, even if you're a stranger. And then I lean on the tools. I lean on that Start X39. Even me, I use startx39.com 100% of the time. I will not teach you.
And thank you for that side.
Yes.
Because listen, I'm not a tech guy and I would not be able to set up the system that you've put together for us. And it's so simple to go through. I remember I was asking you for hey, where are the studies? I go there. It's right there.
Everything is there.
And it's all there. And qfteam.biz.
Yep.
Oh my God, guys, but you have to make it a thing. And here's the thing. If you as a leader are not familiar with this, neither is your team. I remember me coming back a couple of times. Gina put me in my place a couple of times and I thank God because I need that. You know, I've got thick skin. And many times I would come to Gina and Gina asked me, Mike, you don't know the answer to this? You know what this tells me, Mike? If you don't know, your team doesn't know. And I was like, wow. And sometimes, guys, we have to be real with our people. We have to be real. We can't sugarcoat things, guys, because you're doing them a harm.
Or make it too easy. Like, no, you don't have to. You make it a little harder.
Paint it
a little harder. They'll say, oh, this is easier than I thought.
Come in with the right expectation.
Yeah, not try to.
Correct. Because this is not entitlement. You have to, network marketing is a contact sport and you've got to do the work. And so even for me and my organization's like 50,000 people, it's huge. And everybody has my cell phone number and you guys text me, I need this and I need that. And I'll send it to you. And then I'll say, hey, you're going to find it on QF Team Biz. So I'll answer the question, but I'll say, this is where it is so that they know it's time to start plugging yourself in. I can't teach you all have to plug in. But the most important thing you do is focus on money-making activities, which is 3-3-1. If you're not interacting with 3 people a day, you're not going to build a business. You have to have contact. And I love what you two are doing. It's unbelievable to me because you're meeting one person, you're saying, let's talk about your mother, your sister, your brother. I'm going to leave you patches for all of those people at the same time. I'm like, talk about exponential growth. Wow. Yep. I'm just thinking about that person in front of me. It never even occurred to me. That's incredible what you all are teaching and what you all have done. It's fabulous.
Thank you. And I'm sorry, go ahead.
No.
So guys, another thing, many times for those of us who are all here together right now, we were blessed to be a part of this now.
Yeah.
Guys, here's the deal. Now is when you want to get started. A lot of people, you got to be at the beginning, you got to be at the top. This is the beginning. Mm-hmm. You're coming in, you are at the top. And you want to run when the leaders are running because guess what? We're going to run like we have our heads on fire, all right? And we were in a position where I thought, I'll be 50 in
a couple days, 2 days after convention.
2 days after convention, I'll be 50 years old. Listen, I feel like I'm 25. I wish I had the body I have now at 25, but I'm going to run like I'm a teenager with his head on fire. So was Steve and Gina. I know something that when Steve called me, he was like, because, he's called me throughout the last 10 years that we haven't been running together. And I'm like, no, staying away. So he didn't know how I was going to take it. And I was like, Steve, listen, I didn't have to hear much. He told me about testimonies. He told me about you. He told me everything that, everything that was in place. And I said, Steve, listen, I don't know much, but I know one thing. You walked away from your company. You didn't sell your business. And in my mind, I'm thinking, These guys have a fire in their belly to recuperate that income that they're walking away from. I said, Steve, listen, you don't need to tell me much. Here's my credit card. I don't know that I'm going to do this. I'm going to do my research, whatever. He came that day. He gave me patches. The next day I called him up. I'm like, I am so upset at you right now. What, Mike, what happened? I said, man, I'm so freaking fired up right now because that night I gave product to my cousin and she, at 7:45 in the morning, she's texting me already. All of her issues gone that she's been dealing with 8 years. I'm talking about sciatica, arthritic pains, migraines. She slept through the night and I had seen enough things through the night. I looked at the comp plan. I said, I'm so upset at you because I know that I'm going to run so hard right now. I had just finished getting out of real estate. I figured I was going to chill. And I remember FaceTiming Steve. I'm in my backyard in my short shorts, sorry for the visual, with no shirt, no socks, walking in my grass, grounding, getting some vitamin D. I said, look, this is what my life consists of right now. And petting my dogs. And he was laughing. You know, he got me on a Zoom where he was still using for his old company. And all of a sudden he cuts off. I'm like, wow, I guess my abs intimidated him. But he's like, Mike, I didn't realize I have my old team from my old company coming in and they were seeing you and I talk. But guys, we're running hard right now. Now is when you want to get in and run. And I tell people, listen, the first 6 months in your business makes the entire difference. You need to run like taking off of the ground on a plane. You need to put that throttle on all the way. I forgot who was it that said, I don't know if it was you or if it was Gina that said, there is no balance. At the beginning, guys, there is no balance. And you know what? You know who wanted to do this type of industry again, worse than me, less than me? This gal right here. You know what she tells me? What did you tell me that I get to what?
He gets very intense.
I get to it. Go ahead. Shout me out. Go ahead. But guys, guess what? That's what it takes to win. I tell her, you know what? I tell her, you know how many women wish to have the problem that their husbands go too hard, they're too intense. Most of them have a hard time getting them off the sofa.
He just has a hard time. Like he won't go eat. Like he'll say yes to a lot of things and he won't eat or he won't, you know. So that's a whole other story. Don't shout me out.
He already knows. And some people that have been in network marketing school, we know that the time is now to run. And do we run alone or do we run with the people that want to run with us?
Yeah, that's a fact. And though and something to say about that, like we're like I try to make whatever he's better at things. We know our weaknesses and our strengths. So you know, he does certain things. I'm in the background making it easier for him to be able, you know, writing down his notes while he's doing something else. I'm making a list, you know, remembering the people that we can call and contact every day. You know, I'm doing my thing. So if you have a partner, figure out what works for you guys. What's your weaknesses and your strengths so that you guys can make a goal and run together and make it happen. That way it's easier for you guys.
No. All right. So thank you, baby. So so guys, real quick, just wow, I've got through almost all of my notes and we're still
fast. Okay.
All right. So let me see, which one do I talk about now?
Building blocks.
Not another. So you know, one thing that really I guess encouraged us to do this, you know, and we noticed this right away was that this is not another Me Too product. And when I'm talking to people, I'm saying, hey guys, oh Mike, yeah, you know, and I'm like, you know, when they're like, you know, I don't want to do that again. And, you know, we did great and whatever, or it didn't go great for us, but no, I don't want to. I say, great, I get it. Neither did we. And we're in a position where, thank God, we didn't need to. But let me tell you why you probably feel that way. Because it's probably one of the reasons why I felt that way. Every company out there has the same products. The reason why we did so good in our first company, at the time, we had something that no one else had. But unfortunately, it was a fruit that, you know, everyone had access to. So even though ours was special, you know, we got to a point where we're like, oh, we have to explain and we have to, why ours is better. And that's the thing with all MLMs today, guys. They have energy drink? Me too. You have a weight loss product? Me too. You have CBD? Me too. You have lotion, potion, all these. You have services. You have mining. You have me too. That I find we have not another Me Too product. I love the fact that we came in when these patents were just issued 2 years ago. So I share this with folks, guys. This is not another Me Too product. No other product company will have this, and no other, not only MLM, no other industry is going to have this. We're talking about stem cells, you know, and stem cells today is an easy conversation to have with folks. So not another Me Too product. The building block, real quick, guys. When I get people in this business, okay, I am not gonna go ahead and give them the opportunity to come in under a silver if they're telling me they want to do the business. I don't want to say I don't want to give them the opportunity, because I give them I give the information, right? You can come in this way, you can come this. Yes, you can upgrade, unless you're in a position that you truly cannot sacrifice that additional $200-300 to come in on a $4.99 pack. I almost feel that it's best for you to sit aside and come in the right way. Because if you're coming in and you want to go to the first level of manager, you have to be on gold. So I tell you guys, if you're getting people in on the distributor side, it's people that are telling you, I want to do the business, not the people that are saying, I just want to buy the product. So if they want to do the business, your manager structure should look, at the very least, you manager above, and two manager or above. Because if not, it's gonna cost you more money to upgrade. Yeah, they only charge for the difference, but you're gonna have to pay shipping again. And listen, money extra that you're paying is extra money that you can put gasoline, food on the table. So I want to do the best that I can for people, and I want to teach them the right way. And goals are the minimum way. And if you can come in at anything higher, I love the fact Steve got me on gold. And the very next day that I saw that everything that I needed to see, and my cousin got her testimony, and I slept through the night that night, which can you tell I've got ADD, ADHD, ABCD, EFG, and Renita, I use it as my superpower, right? So guys, I called Steve Merritt. I'm like, hey, 5 sleeves. What am I gonna do with that? What's the biggest pack? He was like, Mike, diamond. How much is diamond? It's this much. And then he explained to me that if I share, every time that I share with a diamond, I get 500 instead of 200. I'm like, Steve, you screwed up, buddy. You got me on the wrong pack. So I give everyone that opportunity. Even though I got my doctors to upgrade yesterday, because, you know, for whatever reason, they're like, you know, when we first came in, he came in on a 5-pack on a gold. We were in his, I was in his office. I spent 4 hours in his office yesterday. I did a quick presentation at lunchtime for all of his employees. And, you know, he says, guys, here's the deal. You guys are always asking me, what can we do, doc? What can we do to make more money? He's a chiropractor. What other services can we do? He says, here's what you can do to make more money right now. And he told them, I'm going to place this patch on all of my patients. We have a sophisticated product. Back to what I said, right? This wouldn't happen with other products in the past. So he says, so they were all a little skeptical. They're asking me questions, you know, and I lead them all to start X39, and I lead them all to the quantum field team biz. And, you know, and we pop it up on a screen right there. And as we're talking, there's patients going in and out. And once I'm done, I'm like, you know what I'm going to start doing? If you allow me, let's start putting some patches on people when they go in for the 30-minute, procedure. And you know what happened?
What?
Not one, not two, at least 3 people that we shared this with came back within 30 minutes. Oh my God, what is this stuff? What is this stuff? All of the employees, especially the skeptic ones, their eyes went whoop. Everyone got in. Today, he's already calling me. Hey, I have this application. Mike, did you call this girl? She's ready to come in. She's ready to come in. We started selling patches, sleeves at his place. He got rid of all of his 5-pack. Thank God I'm prepared. I brought more. We sold more sleeves. He owes me 3 sleeves. He sold his 5. He owes me 3. And I told him, Doc, that's why I told you at the beginning. It's probably best you come in. I'm not going to push you to do anything. You know, you're a doctor. I don't know your situation, you know, and I love doctors that wear the 2 hats. There's doctors that work in a hospital. They're not the risk takers. They don't understand the business side. I like the one with the 2 hats, the one that have gotten in there, they started their own clinic. He right away got me in front of another doctor. This doctor had an amazing result. Him, his wife. He texted me last night at 10:48 at night. He texted me at 3:47 in the morning. And he texted me at 7:37 in the morning. Today we have dinner with him at 15 at what's the name? Seasons 52. I'm like, we're vegans. I don't even know, but we're gonna go there and we're gonna chew on salad. Like, you know, like we're gonna chew on lettuce. But thank God they have some options for us. But it's because of what we're able to see, guys. So again, it's the same approach. Had I sent them home with, you know, had I sent them home, I would have thought about, but they were able to see it right away with their patients.
That's why I say take it like a business. Somebody said, like, do you want this to be like you know, whatever, like
A hobby.
want this to be like $1 million business, then you have to take it like $1 million business. Like you need to promote it. You need to have your ammo. You need, like Gina says, you need to have your patches there. You need to leave the people with their patches so that they put it on them. Put it on them. Don't let them go home. Put it on them to make sure, because while you have them there, they could be feeling something. And right there, they, you know, but it's just a lot of things. The urgency.
Yeah.
Urgency, it also causes excitement and all of that, and that's contagious too. So
you know, talking on that note, you know, I just think about Wayne Ullery. I signed up a good dear friend of mine. You know Wayne Ullery.
I know Wayne.
So Wayne's doing. Wayne is going to his restaurants, to his wife's salon, his wife and his daughter's salon. He goes to his kid's barber shop. He goes to his barber shop. Mm-hmm. He went to Home Depot. The places where he frequently visits, mm-hmm. and restaurants, and he goes 3 days in a row. Mm-hmm. Day 1, come here, everybody, line up. I'm about to bless you. Bum, 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 bum. He patches everybody. He says, I'll be back tomorrow, same time. Mm-hmm. And he goes 3 days in a row, and he follows up with everybody. He puts it on his app to remind them. I want to talk a little bit about the app too. And right away, he's like, oh my God, Mike. One guy, and they're all popping at different times. That's why I look to do the shotgun approach. We don't know who's going to pop. And you know what, truth be told, I can't believe it. There's people that need more than a week to see a difference. All right? They're broken. I don't know what to tell you. They're toxic. I'm just kidding. But so that's why I look to get as many people as possible. But guys, you just got to get creative. You got to patch people. 3, 3, 1. And I love that because, you know, I'm the belly-to-belly guy. So I don't do this mass explosion, but 3 people a day, I can do. I still have other things going, but I'm doing this full time. So, and it keeps me fired up. You stay fired up. I was talking to somebody before, and you know, for one of my guys, he's like, Mike, this girl has all the potential in the world. She could have been a director by now. Can you just, you know how it is, Mike? I have a relationship with her. She got to hear from somebody else. Gets me on the phone. I'm like, hey, how are you? I'm not going to say any names. And I start talking to her. And I kind of feel like, yeah, Mike, no, I know. And after talking to her, I kind of just pick up her energy is just not there. I said, let me tell you something. I have not spoken to my buddy, who's going to say his name. I said, I don't know what you've done, but I can almost guarantee you that you have a gold pack, you told me. That means you came in on the business. I can almost guarantee you have not gone out there and shared with as many people. You have not gotten a bunch of testimonies yet. And your level of conviction is not really where it needs to be because you haven't done the work yet. Yeah, Mike, you're right. I said, let me tell you something. These are magic, powerful seeds, but they don't grow in your pocket. They don't grow on the counter. You got to go out there and you got to put this patch on people. If not, your business is not going to go anywhere. And don't be greedy. Don't be stingy with your seeds. You got to go plant them, and they're all going to plant them. You know, they're all going to land in different soil. And we know the whole story of the seeds. But I can tell that you're not where you need to be within your conviction because you haven't gone out there and done it, guys. And listen, don't let the naysayers bring you down. And it's so easy to happen. You know,
Yes, it
negative
is.
energy is contagious, and unfortunately, negativity is also contagious, and it can, you know, it does something to us.
But Renita says joy is contagious.
What's that?
Renita said joy is contagious.
Everything.
That's
Yeah.
correct, right? I'm like, wow. One of the things that I've noticed in network marketing is you don't know who your friends know. You don't know who the stranger you met at the salon knows. And so when I was introduced to this product, it was a fluke. And it was a girlfriend in California. I've never done any business with her at all. And she called me up and to tell me about, asked me if I knew what LifeWave was. And I said, no. And she says, well, have you heard of X39? I said, no. She'd been wearing the patch for 4 days. She tells me her testimonial. And I did some research once I got back from Santorini. And I said, where did this patch come from? And she said, the chimney sweep gave it to me. I said, the chimney sweep? She said, yes. And I said, all right, are you in? And she said, why? And I said, because I'm joining. She's like, you are? And I said, yeah. And I said, call the chimney sweep and tell him he's about to be blessed. And she said, what do you mean? And I said, I'm going on his inside leg. Now, the chimney sweep had no idea that Kathy knew Onyx Cole. The chimney sweep just knew Kathy. The chimney sweep took a chance, walked across the street, told Kathy to raise up her hair, and he stuck an X39 right on the top of her neck. And here it is today. So if the chimney sweep hadn't have taken that chance, this whole organization wouldn't have been here, because I probably wouldn't have even known about it, you know, and then you all wouldn't have been here. And the more and more and more people that are going to be blessed wouldn't be here. So you don't know who your friends know. You don't know who your contacts know. And I love what you all are saying in terms of sharing it, not just with the person in front of you, but also all the people around you, whether it's like Wayne's doing in the salon, whether it's like you doing, okay, what's your mother going on for your mother? What's going on for your sister? What's going on for your best friend? Patching everybody all at once. Because for myself, I noticed immediately I was sleeping better, but I don't have any aches and pains. After 3 weeks, my esthetician noticed that my age spot was down. After another 2 or 3 weeks, my hair was growing like crazy. I'm like, what is going on? I'm 56 and this hair is just growing. And then after a year, my gums changed. Now, I didn't feel any of that. I didn't feel my hair growing. I didn't feel my age spot getting lighter. I didn't feel my gums changing. I felt myself sleeping better 100%. But I had no idea. But what I did see with all the people that I was sharing with is they were shifting. And a lot of them did have aches and pains. I didn't have aches and pains. So I talked about Kathy's story in the beginning because that's all I had. That's all I had. And then I was like, well, I'm sleeping better because then I had that. And then you'll hear crazy stuff. It's amazing the crazy things you're going to hear. There's a ton of science behind this product, which is amazing, because David's not really a network marketer, as you guys saw. He's really a scientist with 1 foot in the spiritual world and 1 foot in the scientific world. So for me, it's such a pleasure to be here and to be able to lock arms with everyone, because we go together. We run together, we heal together, we grow together, we thrive together.
Amen.
So,
you know what? It's funny. I went through all of my notes. The only thing I have left to say, send to voicemail. Can you guys, I hope you can you hear me?
we can hear you. Yep.
Yeah. The only thing I have left to say here, it's, you know, I think about Dave Warden, and that's a gentleman that we sponsored. Those two go together. We covered everything.
You go.
So,
what a team.
weird, because I was just putting notes and I had to go back and, okay, I covered that, cover this, ADD on fleek. So I think about David, and you know, I've done this with several people. You know, David, he was on the golf course when I called him, and I thought for whatever reason, you know, he was avoiding my call. No, he just happened to be at the golf course, and I'm calling some folks and they don't answer me, and I'm following up. Following up is the key. 3, 3, 1, right? Follow up is the key, and 3 is, you know, you're gonna share with 3 people, and that can be a video, that can be product, that can be, you know, a conversation. So initially that's the introduction. Then you're gonna follow up with those 3, and we're gonna invite people to the Zooms, guys. Let the tools do the work for you. I know when we send people to Steve and Gina's Zooms, and the people that were on our last Zoom, everybody got up and they upgraded because they saw the value behind upgrading, you know, to a gold or a diamond or whatever it was. But Dave Warden and Heather Warden, he called me I said we were talking last night, and he says, Mike, I'm so grateful that you called me, and I've gotten a couple of phone calls like this, you know, and people even getting emotional, and I love that because they're speaking from the heart. He says, Mike, I'll never forget that call. You were blowing me up, blowing me up, blowing me up. And finally you texted me, you said, you better answer my call or block me because I'm gonna blow you up. Guys, I've done, all right? Because it's urgency. I need to talk to you, all right? So
whatever you say, if you say no, cool.
oh,
cool.
thank you. That's the only thing I was missing.
No bad heart, no bad blood.
That's something I tell
okay.
people. I tell people, listen, I'm gonna share this with you, and I'm totally okay with you telling me you don't want to do it. I'm okay with it, no problem. But you have to hear this from me, because what I'm not okay with is seeing you in the business, rocking and rolling, and knowing that I didn't give myself the opportunity to talk to you first when I had the chance. Like Onyx Gold, someone took the chance, and had they not done it, they would have been pulling their hair out. And I know this product helps you with your hair, but you would have needed 10 patches around your head to grow, because you would have been pulling all the hair that this product is helping you grow, because you're like, Onyx Cole in my business. Even if you only go gold, I'm sorry, still a manager, you're entitled to 25% of everything that Onyx Cole makes. I would need more than a patch, more than patches. So guys, I know that we're coming up to the hour. I am so grateful that, you know, and honored that you would put us on your platform and get us to speak to your entire group. I know that it's a huge blessing and honor, and we don't take that lightly. I always tell people, you know, I think that we are where we are because we do have a heart for folks. And I've always been the kind of guy that I don't care whose business you're in. If I can help you, I know God is going to give it back to me tenfold. And I love helping people. And the only thing that I didn't touch up on that I actually didn't even put in my notes, but was something that I had in my mind. I love the app. This app is an amazing tool. I go ahead and it has a library of videos, and I don't bombard people with videos. I send one. And when I get a notification that that person is watching, I drop the second one. Many times I get the text, oh my God, I was just watching the video. I'm like, I know, I'm not saying that, but I'm thinking, I know. About the second one. And I can see how many times they're watching it. I know I have a guy already, I just need to reel him in. And I can see when they're, Onyx Gold is watching the same video 10 times. I know he's sharing it with folks. Stop sharing the video. Come here. Don't say anything, because they're getting ahead of themselves. I reel them in. We got to get you in first. You're sharing my link. They're going to get in. They're going to come in with me. I know they're interested, so wheel them in. I love that app, guys, and it's free. Most companies charge you at least $50 per month for that app. So, Onyx, we're good to go. If you have any other questions, I know we ran for an hour.
This was just a fantastic day. Thank you so much for blessing everyone. Thank you for sharing from your heart. I look forward to seeing you this weekend. Oh my gosh, we're like 7 days out, and we're all going to get to actually hug each other. We're not going to be 1 inch tall anymore. It's going to be just fantastic. And just beautiful words of wisdom. And thank you for sharing from your heart. You, both of you, are making a huge difference, not just in your team, but in the overall team. And hopefully we'll make a difference in the overall company, because we all go together. So what a beautiful day. Thank you so much. Have a blessed Saturday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. God bless everybody.
Bye.